Yeah, I think I've got to end up with one version of this Santa Claus where I can customize the beard, paint some darker brown with some gray in the middle. You know, for no reason whatsoever. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today, let's take a little look at the test shot for the Fresh Monkey Fiction Naughty or Nice Collection Pirate Santa. And oh, I appreciate the crew over at Fresh Monkey Fiction sending over a little test sample because I've been wondering how it moves, how it feels, what it's gonna do. But we'll have to wait to see how the paint turns out. For those unfamiliar, a test shot is, well, essentially what the name says. The factory cuts the initial molds and then throws in any, well, you can tell by the colors here, the plastic that is available at the moment. Then they send this back to a company like Fresh Monkey Fiction who can go through, test joints, tolerances, plastic, see if anything needs tweaked. Then they send the notes back to the factory, who makes those changes, runs up another test shot if necessary, sends that out, tests again, goes back, then they move on to paint. Other things, it's just a back and forth. So I don't want anybody going to the comment section and asking, well, why's the head pink? Or why isn't there any paint? That's on you. You're essentially saying, hey, I didn't actually watch the video. But like I said, I've been looking forward to getting my hands on this because when it comes to Santa Claus, you wonder just how much movement you can get out of an action figure. Because of the size, because of the shape, and I'm happy to say that, oh, we'll get to articulation, but oh, it's nice. First up though, looking at the sculpt, it's plain where it needs to be plain and detailed where it needs to be detailed. And I don't mean plain in a bad way, I'm just saying this jacket, it's supposed to be that way. It's a jacket. Is this hard to see? Is there too much light? Here, let's tone it down a little bit. But there's wrinkles where necessary because of Santa's body shape. It comes down, kind of bunches up here. Coming down the arm, wrinklage. At the jacket hanging down below the belt, it's just kind of, you know, laying there. A little extra in the back because that's where it would be hanging loose. And then the same thing with the pants underneath, even though it bunches up more. It has more wrinklage. Oh, and with the light adjusted a little, it's not as plain as you initially think because there is texture to the fabric here and here. A little harder to see on the wide up here, but to the naked eye, looking really, really close, yeah, it seems to match from top to bottom. But look at the fur trimming. That's where it gets really interesting, where it's just a lot of sculpt detail running all the way down and around to here and all the way back. The cuffs on the sleeves, and then around the neck, of course. I mean, this is your basic Santa Claus design. Big old buckle here at the belt, and you can even see the loops and the thing and the different texture to the leather there. Just adding a little bit more to the visual experience, even if it is subtle. You have his boots with a buckle going up over the top. Actually, I need to go back and look and see if the regular Santa has this because this is the pirate variation. So there's pirate things going on. There's the peg leg on the right side and you can see the wood grain sculpted in. And for some reason, my camera is having a hell of a time trying to focus on that. There is the candy cane hook hand, which eventually will be painted red and white. And then the pirate head, of course. He's got the bandana wrapped around, has a tie here in the back. He's got the eye patch covering up the left eye, nicely sculpted. There's even an edge around it. And then the pirate snarl. At first I thought, well, that looks kind of asymmetrical. Then I realized he was doing a yar. And when you do a yar, you do your lip a certain way and that's it. Oh, and I'm just noticing the braids in the beard coming down. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I went back and compared to the promotional pictures of regular Santa and he does have the buckle down on the boot. But then I noticed that has a shorter lower jacket below the belt, so that's a cool addition for the pirate. In fact, now that I'm looking through all the promotional images I have for the Naughty or Nice Santa Clauses, I believe that this longer lower jacket is unique to the pirate, unless I'm missing something, and I very well could be. But like I said, the big thing I wanted to check out here was the articulation. And when it comes to articulation, you guys know me, I will push it to the limit. But since this is a test shot that I have to send back to the company, I don't want to send it back broken. Because I have noticed that the wrist hinge here, it doesn't want to go. Like the detents are a little heavy. And it's the same on the right knee. And I don't want to push it. Again, that's the whole point of a test shot. Maybe the detents are too big here and here. and they can back them up a bit. Send that note back to the factory. They can fix it before the final product. Saying that though, the left knee goes, and maybe I'm just nervous about pushing it too hard. At the neck, there is a big ball joint up at the top that allows for some up, and then you see where this is going, the beard gets in the way. It's just a Santa Claus design, but there is some nice tilt to it. And of course, rotates side to side. Pin coming out to the shoulder rotates all the way around. Hinge there comes up to 90. Hinge and swivel at the elbow comes up to about 90 and then rotates in and out. The hook hand obviously doesn't have any articulation. There is a long peg to a ball in the middle of the torso here. You can get some crunch. You can get some arc back. Tilt, tilt. Rotates. Ball joint coming out to the hip allows for forward, some back, and then oh, out. Look at that. Better than Spider-Man. If this were mine, I would probably slice on up right here, split it to make this a little easier to get out of the way. But it's not too big a deal because there is a softness there. Got a swivel at the thigh. Hinge and swivel at the knee comes up to there and then rotates in and out. No articulation at the peg leg, but at the foot, there is a hinge that goes back, forward, and then a forward-facing pin for rocker. For accessories, there's this stand, and the Naughty or Nice is actually sculpted in there. That's cool. And yes, there is a peg hole at the bottom of the peg leg. Have this present, the bow, beautifully sculpted on top, the ribbon running down, and it's flat on bottom. That's so it'll sit flat. And no, the lid doesn't open. If I remember the promotional image right, I think the pirate present comes with skull and crossbones. Again, this is the pirate version, so of course you're gonna have a pirate sword. Look how smooth that is. Yar. And then, of course, there's the pirate hat. It's sculpted to only go one way, so of course you gotta go there and find a little, it's not a catch, but it's almost pressure. But once you find that sweet spot, it's not just gonna fall off. Now, there are more accessories included. This is just what I was sent, which is really the basics of a pirate Santa. You would think a character with a peg leg would be harder to stand to, but because of the size of the left foot, it's not a problem. You can lean it back and go, yeah. This stands at about 6 5/16, which will work in most of your prominent 1/12 scales like Hasbro's Star Wars Black Series or their Marvel Legends line. He can make a visit to your Mofex DC characters during Christmas, or bring some cold to your Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra figures. Larger than Santa Gus, but there's always fun to be had with your Fortnite stuff. Yo ho ho. I believe you mean ho ho ho. Nay, yo ho ho. Well, okay. So at the end of the day, this is gonna be some fun. Because if you're not into the pirate Santa, there's also regular Santa, there's robot Santa, there's zombie Santa, there's Krampus. There is all kinds of options here. Plus you can fill out the display with elves and nutcrackers. And I love options in toy lines. If you don't like one version, there's this and this and this. You're gonna find something you like, or should. And to reiterate one more time, this is a test shot. There's loose parts, there's tight parts. That's the whole point of a test shot, is to focus in on those slat changes that need to be made. Let the factory know, get that done before the final product comes out. This was just to show you what articulation is like and scale and how it compares to some other figure lines. If seeing that makes you more interested, the links are in the description to Big Bad Toy Store where you can pick and choose. Do whatever you want. If you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus if you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. The interesting thing I found about the torso is that you can have it cranked back a little bit and you have Holly Jolly mode, you know, for regular Santas or some of the heroics, but then you crunch down and you get this almost sinister feel to it. Like very pirate-like. He's ready to swashbuckle and take over your boat. So I can't wait to get other different versions of these, the naughties and the nices, because the more I mess with this, the more dynamic it gets.